Are you a lifelong fan of General Hospital?
Are you a new fan who wants to know more about the history of the show?
Do you enjoy talking about the show with others?
Do you find yourself yelling at the TV?
Is your self-care an hour a day in Port Charles?
If so, we invite you to join hosts
Amanda Kimmel
and Shannon Coach at the place where all the hidden conversations take place and secrets are revealed.
Meet us at Pier 54,
a General Hospital fan podcast. Hey guys, it's Shannon. Just wanted to give a little on the audio for the podcast. Amanda and I had to be each recording in our respective cars, and there are a few areas that kind of get a little glitchy. So it's not you, it's us. But thanks for listening. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to the General Hospital recap for January 13th through 17th, 2025. Amanda and I are both in our cars, and I'm going to try to access. I definitely have to because we have a couple of pipelines to read. So I'm going to have to go off screen for a little bit, but again, reiterating our crazy lives right now. But it's a great morning. We're both wearing burgundy, so or Cabernet, whatever color it is. But yeah. So let me pull up. I feel like we just need to have a Holly corner, but she sent us another. I can't believe I'm saying this, but Nina's the voice of reason. Nina? I love her.
I
because I'm
totally
expecting
with her,
similar
with her this week.
I was gonna. Yep. And then we have a new listener, Cindy. She sent this on Thursday. I literally just stumbled on your podcast this morning. I'm kind of curious how that happened, but okay. And I listened to your 2024 recap. I was not prepared to cry, but when you recapped Bobby and BJ calling Lucas champ, the moment your voice cracked, waterworks began. I literally ugly cried. Now I'm hooked and can't wait to hear your thoughts and recaps of the show that I've loved since I was 13 years old, and she's currently 54. So
Aww.
I guess it's the beginning of the year. Maybe we should do a quick rundown of the show, you know, how we do everything. We are definitely lovers of the show. You know, we, of course, get frustrated with storylines and question a lot of things, but we never bash the actual actors themselves. We are very adamant about no spoilers, and we don't get into the crazy ship wars. Like, we don't get into the hardcore attacking people ship wars that you see on social media. We just don't get involved with it. I mean, we can disagree about people that we like and don't want together and everything, but yeah, we don't get nasty.
Right. Exactly. It's supposed to be fun. That's why we watch the show, as
exactly.
A fun break from reality.
Yes. And at the end of it, we have our reality checks where we share a little bit about our lives so people don't think we are as delusional as we sound. So, yeah. And, you know, feel free to write into us. peer54podcast@gmail.com is always the best way. We rarely check our social media messages just because we get a ton of spam and really disgusting stuff gets sent to us very frequently by a lot of bots. So, yeah, it's pretty darn gross. The things that we have been asked to promote. That I'm sure everybody else on the internet has been asked to promote too, but has nothing to do with General Hospital.
A different version at home and heart.
Oh, yeah, I guess. So, I'm going to have to go to, and I think that was it. Oh, I did have a thought. Speaking of home and heart, good thinking. During the recap, we should have included what deception products became real. The purse that I absolutely love. I have the little maxi purse. I absolutely love it. And I have the Deceptor, and I have not been using it as diligently as I should. So there is that. But I will say when I do use it, I do like it. So yeah, I realized that after doing the show. But okay. Now we will go to Hulu headlines. And this upcoming week, we are going back to Lucky. I think we're on Lucky 16?
That sounds right, yeah.
Okay. And I tried something new to get us to speed along a little bit. Tried using like a program to help me summarize what was written so that we can at least get it. We're not missing a lot, but also not getting, because now we're getting into the times where Lucky, Liz, Emily and Nicholas were all friends. And it's great that they are such good friends, but like we get stuck on an Emily storyline. And yes, Lucky and Liz did a lot to be a part of it, but it wasn't about them.
Right.
Yeah, I think we only have 1 week of Lucky by himself before we get back to Lucky and Liz.
That's what we really want anyway. So
I know. So for Hulu headlines, and we saw him this week. Yay. Oh, we saw them this week, actually. Okay. On Monday, Carly issues a warning. Tracy and Stella catch up. Oh, speaking of Stella, I've been watching the Jason Segel, I think, and Harrison Ford show on Apple TV called Shrinking, and Vernee Watson is in it.
Oh, cool.
Kai and Trina share a close moment. Cody seeks out Brad. Nina and Sonny make a compromise. On Tuesday, Lucky shares new intel. Lulu makes a request of Tracy. Dante debriefs with Sonny. Nina blasts Drew. Jason relays an idea to Carly. On Wednesday, Anna questions a suspect. Tracy implores Jason. Carly seeks information from Brennan. Drew shuts down Alexis. Trina meets Emma. That was very anticlimactic, too. It was like 2 seconds. Thursday, Carly and Tracy have it out. Willow opens up to Chase. Nina confides in Ava. Kai impresses Trina. Cody and Dante discuss the past. And then on Friday, Jordan reads Drew the Riot Act. Lulu and Brook Lynn clash. Willow makes a big decision. Tracy lands in hot water. And Ava is on a mission. So where do you want to start?
I think I'm going to go to the Jocelyn stuff just because that was kind of independent of everything else. So we see Lucky talking to the head of whatever that volunteer group is. I can't remember what it's called now, that Cyrus had been working with, and just asking like general questions like, oh, it's so great the work that my uncle does. You want to tell me some more about it? And the lady's like, oh yeah, your uncle, he's amazing, blah, blah, blah. And so Joss walks up at that same second. Yes, and she's like ready to go off, and Lucky gives her this look like, just be quiet and let this lady finish what she's saying. And so she finishes saying how Cyrus loves to work at the different homes and hospitals, especially with people who don't have any family or friends that visit them and everything. And then she excuses herself because she needs to go do something, for the organization. And so Lucky is like, all right, Joss, what are you trying to get at? Because you came up ready to interrupt that conversation. And she's like, well, I want to know what you're thinking. So they kind of compare notes on what they think's going on with Cyrus, and how Felicia said that the bell stopped ringing. And so she's suspecting that he was the one that stabbed Dex and whatever. And he's on the same idea, that not so much about Dex, but about the killing everyone in the hospital. And so they're just like exchanging information. And then she goes down to the police station and is like, Anna, you need to arrest him right now. Jocelyn knows from all of the interactions with Sonny that that's not the way that it works. You don't get to just walk in to the police station and demand that someone is arrested because you have probable cause, but it wouldn't stand up in court. So she tells her whole spiel to Anna about the bell stopping ringing and whatever. And Anna actually does go and ask him to come into the station, has her men go get him, come into the station and question him. And then they get done questioning him and he goes to leave, and Joss comes up and blows the entire thing out of the water and is like, I know that you killed Dex and we're going to catch you because the bell stopped ringing, blah, 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 blah. And I just feel like, again, the family that Joss was raised in, she knew better than to do that. And I know emotions like get to you in the moment and whatever, but I still feel like she's old enough and mature enough that she knew how this was all going to play out, and that she would have kept her mouth shut instead of running up to him and yelling. And then Anna like scolded her and was like, you just showed him our hand. He knows everything now. Good job.
Well, I'm glad that she said that, though, because seriously, and you mentioned like emotions run high, but she wasn't even really that emotional. And like you said, like she's gone through this how many times with Sonny, with her mom, with Jason, with Dex,
right?
Right. I mean, she has seen how the law works, and how you need to keep your mouth shut and let them, what do they say? Like, let them give themselves like enough rope for you to be able to, like let them talk it out. because I mean, she already had him with well, that's not what you told us before, this, that, and the other thing. But so I did look up, so there were a few doctors, or not doctors, because we talked about how it seems like he's trying to do the angel of death, the mercy killings, whatever. And that's kind of what Lucky was digging at for that rescue missions person was, okay, well, where has he been volunteering? And it sounds like he's been volunteering with people who are basically terminal, people that are near death, I don't even want to say near death, but it can be perceived as. Right,
right. You would think that you were helping them not suffer.
Right. And there was a nurse named Charles Cullen, did it for 16 years before he was caught. He was arrested in 2003 after a 16-year murder spree, killed at least 40 patients, but he might have actually been responsible for hundreds of deaths.
That's crazy.
Like, that's insane. How do you let it go that long?
Did he use digitalis?
Uh-huh.
That's so great. I love whenever they follow the real stories.
So he used digoxin,
okay.
But it says it's an old drug with a fascinating history. Digitalis is a genius. It's like they're tied together. But then the one, and we don't have to dig on this because this has nothing, it's not the right group that's being targeted in General Hospital. But in 1980 and 81, there was a nurse in Toronto that was killing babies.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. But yeah, those were the two that popped up when you Google murder by digitalis. We should add that to the things to track for the year. Things that the FBI is going to flag for Shannon.
Right.
Just from General
Shannon
Hospital.
Will be arrested.
Then they're going to be like, wait, what? And I'll just sit there and explain to them. And I will have my chart. I'll have access to a chart to be able to say, no. This was this. This was this. This was this. And this is why I Googled this. And then maybe they'll just send me away for a long vacation.
No, lucky for you. We've discussed it openly on the podcast. So not only would you have me, but you would have a bunch of our viewers like writing into the cops and being like, no, listen, for real.
She's just a super nerd.
She didn't say she killed anyone on the reality check. So I believe it was just research. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. But yeah, so, I mean, I guess we're going to see how much did Joss mess it up.
Yeah, I mean, Cyrus is pretty smart to begin with, but I don't think that he would have realized that Felicia realized that the bell wasn't ringing then. That is like a detail that I'm not sure you would think anyone was paying attention to. It was a busy holiday season. Like, you just kind of, the Salvation Army is always out. I always try to give to them, but you do get kind of like tone deaf to their bell because it's constant. And so for Felicia to pick that out of it was impressive.
It would have been more interesting had they had Kevin hypnotize her and have that be like a subconscious thing that because there are so many things that we do absorb that we don't commit to readily available memory.
Right.
But I mean, she dug into that pretty quick where she was like, oh, wait, you know what? In the sleigh bell season, I didn't notice a bell being rung suddenly. And it was at the same She doesn't also know if it was at the same time that Dex was being killed.
Right. She said it was right after the fight.
Yeah. But like that could have been a bathroom break. I'm not trying to defend Cyrus, but I'm just saying like there are a million different reasons. If someone were donating, typically they stop ringing the bell and say, oh, thank you so much, and maybe a little chit chat. There's dozens of reasons why the bell would not have rung.
Right.
But before that, we saw Lucky. Was that before we saw Lucky and Liz at the Port Charles Grill and they were having dinner? And
they were having dinner. So he talked to Joss and then he went to dinner. And then while they were at dinner is whenever they saw Cyrus. Like they went to dinner there so they could observe Cyrus.
Yes.
And then Cyrus got taken away or asked to come while they were having. And then Liz was like, okay, like, I guess we can just be done because, we've nothing to observe here because he's gone. And Lucky was like, no reason to interrupt our dinner. We've already placed our order, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm. Well, they were playing good cop and bad cop. And listen, she was flirting right back when she was like, I'm sorry, Lucky, but another man has caught my eye, and like looks at Cyrus and it's like, ooh, you know what we're doing now.
I love it.
But I like that, as Lucky stepped out, she talked to him and was like, I'm really glad to hear that you're doing all this volunteer work, blah, 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 blah. And then she says that she wants to get involved in the volunteer work. And she told Lucky, it sounds like you don't think I'm as strong as I am. And he's like, I by no means meant to imply that you are not that strong. And they decide that she's going to go ahead and volunteer, see where that goes.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I mean, I know that Liz can handle it. She just better be super careful because Cyrus is a different level of awful.
Yep. So. Well, and then so we found out that Michael didn't die because they know, because Dr. Gannon came in, and because they've had those few already happen, Dr. Gannon, had something was counteracting that basically undoes what the digitalis was supposed to do.
Right, because they didn't want to use the paddles on Michael because of how severe his burns were. And so they were like, if we just wait, he's going to die. If this is the wrong medicine, he's going to die. At least let's chance it by giving him something and hoping that it counteracts it. And they were smart. I was happy. They were smart. They took the IV lines and all that stuff and sent it to the lab to have it tested for digitalis.
Yep. It just occurred to me though, and I don't know much about heart disease or heart conditions, but Michael also has a heart condition. Wouldn't that probably have done something completely different? It probably still would have killed him, but I feel like that it would have had a better success rate if he had an existing heart condition. I don't know.
But does he have an existing heart condition? I know he had issues when he was a baby, but then they did that surgery and they fixed it. So is it considered that he has continuous heart disease? I've never heard Michael talk about, I can't forget to take my heart pill because of that issue I had. So I'm assuming that he has a strong, healthy heart at this point.
It's almost like he's a brand new person. But I guess we could just stay on that real quick, that Carly was able to get Brennan to look into or not even look into, but the place where Ava went to get her burns fixed or, treated, her burns treated, is no longer in existence. We know this. It blew up, right? When they were leaving.
Yep.
Because everything blows up when we're done. It's like this message will self-destruct in 5 seconds,
I'm not sure why the clinic shut down. And I was thinking the same thing. I'm pretty sure it blew up. It didn't just shut down. It was done. But
unless we're mistaking but I'm pretty darn sure that it did.
I'm pretty sure too.
All the labs blow up at some point.
Exactly. But then he says that one of the doctors is still practicing, but it's over in Germany. And so he is able to pull some strings and get it so that Michael could receive care there and blah, 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 blah. So are we not going to actually kill Michael?
I guess.
Oh, that would make me so happy.
I know. Well, Chad said it's not goodbye. It's just yeah.
Well, that would make me happy.
I was really surprised when they had him go into the hospital.
Right. I just assumed he was going to die. But since they went through the trouble of saving him with the medicine to counteract the digitalis, I'm like, oh my gosh, that would be great. Just send him away. I mean, we had Lulu in a coma for 4 years, so we could send him away for burn treatments and just do a couple phone calls here and there that we don't actually need to hear him for quite some time. That would be awesome.
Earlier in the week, Willow did invoke her right as his proxy to not allow Sonny and Carly. And I love that everybody from all angles is saying, this is not you, this is Drew. Every single person.
Yeah.
Except for Chase. And I was really upset about that. I was upset that Chase wasn't like, well, what do you want? Why are you talking about Drew decided? Because, okay, if Willow is the only person who can say anything, why is Drew doing all the talking?
Right, exactly.
Literally.
Right. He was the one that walked up to Portia and them and was like, you only need to talk to her, and continued blubbering on. But for the first time,
shut up, Drew.
Right. For the first time in, I think, ever, I actually felt really bad for Nina because she pulled Sonny aside, had the whole conversation about, listen, I know they're in the middle of all this divorce stuff, but you know that Michael would not want these kids away from their mom, and you guys can still have visitation and whatever, but there's no reason for them to be at the Quartermaines basically being watched by nannies whenever they could be with their mom. And so then she comes back out and she's like, hey, we talked, and yeah, they're gonna give you your kids back. And Willow immediately runs to Drew and is like, oh my god, I'm so happy, blah blah blah. And I was like, oh man, I don't know how Nina didn't say it right then. I'd have been like, you think he's your hero, but he didn't bother to tell you that we've been hooking up for months now. And all the other slimy stuff that she knows about him. Ugh.
I think that it's going to come up. I wish that it had come up during this, because you're right. Nina fought so hard, and something is going to have to happen for Nina to finally get fed up to that point with, you know what, it's going to wind up being she's yelling at Drew and Willow overhears it.
Yes. Yeah. I thought the somehow it was going to be when she was at the art gallery talking to Ava, and Ava was like, when are you just going to tell her, blah, blah, blah. I thought at that moment that Willow was going to walk in and be like, oh my gosh, blah, 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 and overhear it.
And I don't even know where to go with all of this. I mean, Tracy was doubling down on the kids are staying here. The kids are staying here. Oh, I think that she absolutely did respect Carly and Sonny's, she seemed to have a little bit of a possible soft spot-ish.
Right.
For what they were saying, but she was like, no, I wish she had at least said something like, Willow needs to be focused on, okay, if Willow's going to be Michael's proxy, then she needs to be focused on Michael. Let the kids stay here. Like you said, they're being taken care of by the nannies. Let's just make this as easy as possible. The kids are safe. The kids are with the people that they love. They're being taken care of. They're in a familiar place,
Right. It's not like they've never met these nannies before. Right.
I mean, you and I would both do the same thing. If our guys were and we needed something with the kids, it's no, please just keep them. It's one less thing to worry about,
Exactly.
And they're all doctors. So they're all going to share appropriate. Well, okay, maybe not all, but they're all not going to share too much with the kids. They're going to let Willow be the one to share. They're going to comfort Wiley and Amelia.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like they're in a stranger's house. It's not like CYS just came and took them.
Right, exactly.
But
no, I think that Willow's definitely blowing it out of proportion, but at the same time, Tracy is just being so nope, no access, no nothing, you're done. And that, as a mom, would make me angry. It's one thing if you're saying you want them to sleep here and be here, but to just say I have no access, no, that's not going to fly.
But, and I can't believe we didn't bring this up during Port Charles Pipeline. What was the number one reason that she is given? It has zero to do with her. And it actually has zero to do with the kids themselves or Michael or Willow. It has to do with Monica wants the kids to be there. And when she and Stella were catching, they had to have known. So we forgot to mention at the beginning of the show.
I don't want to mention it.
Leslie Charleson passed away, and I hate it.
I don't want to mention that. I'm so sad.
It's just, and the worst part is we knew, we knew it was coming. We knew that she's been sick. We knew, but we still hoped. But I don't know, in my head, part of me is they knew Leslie was passing, and they've written her in so much recently, just talking about her. And when she begged Jason, please do not break your mother's heart. And Jason said no to Sonny and chose the Quartermaines. So do you think that there's a chance that maybe Leslie filmed one last phone call or something? We heard that Yuri is guarding her bedroom, Fort Knox.
Yes.
I don't know if that's the exact verbiage that they used, but that's what I pictured. They knew. I feel it's the same thing as they did with Jackie when they honored Bobby Spencer. It was perfect timing. She was on the show for 40 years. They had the nurses' ball, so they honored her as part of it. And then she passed. So I feel did they know? I just think it's very interesting timing that she passed away, and we're hearing so much about her now.
Right, exactly. And just the way that Tracy's talking about honoring her when up until now, Tracy's like, you knew that Tracy and Monica had a love-hate relationship, but Tracy definitely focused more on the hate whenever she was speaking out loud to other people about
both
Monica.
did. They both did, though. That's the thing. And it was when Tracy said to Stella, like, she hates watching her deteriorate, and she's like, she misses her sparring partner. And that's when I was like, they knew that she was not going to be here.
Right.
I can't. So we're not doing Monica because we have to get through Lucky and we have to get back to Bobby, and we're going to have to get to Monica. But I think that maybe when it happens on the show, we'll figure out what to do.
Yeah, I think that's fair, because we don't want to be in the middle of Lucky and Bobby and start Monica, because Monica's not going to be a 2 or 3 week run. It's going to be it's going to be like Alan, where we're going to be talking about her for a month. Yes.
Well, Bobby, although it's not Bobby's fault, they threw in a lot of like things to get us off track with Bobby.
Right.
And then they brought us back Lucky. So, I feel like Lucky's going to go to 24 episodes, but that's Lucky and Liz too. Mm-hmm. So like, we're actually killing 2 birds with 1 stone there too.
Good positive spin.
Yes. So anyway, that was just heartbreaking listening to Tracy talk so lovingly,
right,
in her way lovingly about Monica. Mm-hmm. So my thing is like I said, are we going to have like one final something with Monica? And is it actually just going to be that? I know I said that I think she'll give the house to Olivia. Do you think she'll give it to Tracy? Do you think that there's going to be maybe some final scene with Tracy in Monica's bedroom, and she knows that she's going, and she just says, Tracy, it's your house?
Yeah, I don't know if we'll get a scene with them together, because I don't know obviously how far out they knew that we were getting close to the end. But I could see a letter like with a snarky but loving comment from Monica, like, now you finally get what you always wanted. The house is yours, blah, blah, blah. And then, something nice after that or whatever. Maybe she'll have a video will that they have already recorded. Yeah, there you go.
Because we know that they can do stuff like that, because during lockdown, when we got those scenes with Wiley, with the boys, they're always just going to be the boys. There are boys. Hello. And it was shot by mom at home with the dress. Yeah. Exactly. So I feel like they could have sent someone over to Leslie's house and made it look however it needed to look. And maybe she did a video will. And yes, she will have said something snarky, giving the house to Tracy.
Yeah.
But then Olivia will still co-run it, because now Michael is not. Or maybe Tracy will take over Michael's role as handling the staff.
Tracy's not going to kick out Ned and Olivia, so it doesn't matter if it's Olivia.
Oh, no.
Tracy. They're going to.
No, but they said that Olivia and Michael split. Is it Olivia manages the staff and Michael manages the estate or something like that?
I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
Like, she's in charge of who gets to work there, but he's in charge of the overall, like, who's getting to stay there and the logistics of that.
Like he's the business person and she's the people person. She's HR and he's money.
Right. And that makes sense for their personalities. So,
yeah. But yeah, so I wonder if it'll be, because I don't think Tracy's going to step on Olivia's toes either.
Mm-mm.
I'm just really not looking forward to it. I was so, it never fails. You sent me the text, I'm so sad. And as soon as I saw that I'm so sad, I'm like, something just told me it's Leslie.
I wasn't ready for it. I was just scrolling through Facebook, and then I saw it and I was like, no, that can't be right. And then I looked like multiple places and I was like, oh man, yes, that's accurate. So if I'm sad,
you would have been 80 too. Oh, of course. If she would have been 80 at the end of February, but all it said was after a long-term illness. So that's all that we know.
Yeah.
She was amazing.
Yeah. It'll be a fun recap to do when we get there. So I'm looking forward to that part. But
I did let our new friend, respond to our new friend Cindy's message saying, buckle up, Shannon cries a lot. So that's just a heads up, Cindy.
Yep.
Shannon cries, Amanda makes fun of her. And that's our dynamic.
That's right.
All right, so sorry, we kind of went off
No, that's okay.
a little bit there. But I mean, I guess it's kept in line with, but that's why Tracy was fighting so hard for the kids to stay there, was for Monica.
Right.
And Jason sided with Monica, not Tracy. He sided with Monica,
Right.
and told Sonny, I can't do this to her. And
then once again, it wasn't Willow. Like, Willow was upset, and Willow was at the hospital, and she was, looking at Michael, and you could tell she was kind of processing, like, how did we get here? Like, what's going on? And then Chase went and talked to her, and he didn't tell her that she was wrong and that she doesn't jump from people to people. He, like, kind of let her off the hook and was like, no, you just love in different ways, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. It was a bunch of whatever, but he was trying to not make her feel bad. But at the end of it, she came up with the conclusion that, like, yes, it's her who needs to make the decisions. It's not Nina's, it's not Drew's, it's not anyone else's. And she couldn't continue to put Michael's family through this, especially whenever they weren't the ones keeping the kids from her. That was all to do with Tracy, because Sonny and Carly had both gone over there and tried to reason with her, and she wasn't budging. But again,
that was the thing that was frustrating me, is she knew this. Like, she knew that they were trying. She knew that they agreed.
Right, exactly. But again, at the last, like, the person who went to the cops and said, hey, this isn't happening the way it's supposed to happen, blah, 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 was not Willow. It was Drew. And, like, who is Drew? How does he have the right to say anything about anything?
Well, I just like how they've just put him up a notch on next level, like, jerkdom. Because earlier in the week too, when Alexis called him and said, because here's the thing, he's gonna get himself in a lot of trouble, because Alexis was like, listen, you have Scout living in a hotel room. He's like, the Quartermains are the one who kicked her out. No, they're not.
Right.
They did not.
And you were the one that created this problem. Like, you didn't realize that this was going to create an issue for your daughter and her family whenever you decided to hook up with your nephew's wife. Like, come on.
Right. And she even said, when he first got there, she was like, Congressman, she's like, and typical, if once you become a doctor, once you become whatever, I'm sure that it takes a little while to finally when you get married and you're like, Mrs. What?
Right.
It's, oh yeah, that is my name now. And he's like, well, no, I just adjusted quickly.
Yeah.
Like, no humbleness, no.
Mm-mm.
I get embarrassed when I get congratulated in groups for things. Like, I am personally proud of it. Like, I will tell you how happy I am for something, but like I don't do well with in front of other people, but and if, like, you congratulate me, hey, that's great that you did this. I'm like, oh, okay, thanks.
Yep. No, he's such a jerk. I mean, I feel like he was always a jerk, but they are, like you said, just next level recently, where he thinks he's entitled to whatever he wants and nothing is his fault. And, like, even whenever he was talking to Nina called him out on all of the crap again and was like, what are you doing? You're not mentioning this to her. She's going to find out. It's going to be bad, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, it's not going to be that bad. And there's no reason that anyone would tell her. And besides, like, you don't understand the level of, I don't think he said commitment, but, like, the level of a relationship.
The love they have for each other.
Yeah. And I'm like, really? Really? She's still married, and you guys are still, like, sneaking around pretty much. Give me a break. Like, she has not.
Alexis said the same thing.
Yeah. Right. She was like, okay, if you're taking Scout somewhere to live, what's that level of involvement with Willow? And are you sure that that's healthy right now? And he was like, oh, she loves of Willow. It's fine. Blah, 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 blah. Reminded me whenever I talked to my ex about his different women and the kids. Like, oh, they love each other. They've known each other one week. They don't love each other. Shut up.
Anyone can be fun for a weekend. But when you actually have to do the parenting.
The title of the podcast this week.
Anyone can be fun when there's fireworks.
Right?
Well, yeah, we'll do that. But right, it's I don't know. I mean, okay, I will say on the actress's level, I like seeing this from Willow, but as a character, no. Like, I like to see that she has this range to be someone that I absolutely detest when I absolutely thought she was so sweet and cute. But I think that Chase was also not necessarily giving her a pass, but was like, yeah, you're bringing up some excellent points here, but I'm really not going to point this out right now because you have a lot going on. Like, I'm not going to say, oh, yeah, you're right from Dawn of Day. But Dawn of Day was also not her choice. So that's kind of, she needs to give herself grace on that one. She got out of there.
She did. But she gives Chase the credit for how she got out or why she got out.
Right. But it's not. And she has to recognize that that was her.
Right. She had already left. Like, when she came to Port Charles, she said, I'm escaping a cult. She wasn't currently in the cult. She may have had the strength to stay away, like when Shiloh came back, because of being with Chase. But she did leave on her own.
She gave up her baby. I mean, that takes insane strength, especially when she wanted to be a mother.
Right.
And the only reason that she gave up her baby was because she didn't want Shiloh to find them. You know, it had nothing to do with her not ready to be a parent, like none of that. It was to protect the baby.
Right.
So, yeah, she needs to, let's give her that one. Like, she did that on her own. It's not like Chase found her on the side of the street running and gave her a ride and then they fell in love. You know, it was, they met because of career day, wasn't it? He went.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he went to her kids' classroom to talk about being a cop.
Yeah, because she and Michael met outside of the grief counselors. So, like, they met and they had a total meet cute. That's the phrase that the kids say now is the meet cute. So that's what they had.
There you go.
But yeah, I mean, it was, I don't know. I felt like the scene between them was just weird.
It was weird because I wanted him to say, like, you know, if you're feeling like you're jumping from relationship to relationship looking for a different hero, then maybe, you know, it's time that you think on that or whatever, without accusing her. Like, he could basically say the same stuff that Joss said without saying it in that same tone and without the nasty words, and it would be the truth and be able to be accepted by her. And then she could get to that point of like, oh yeah, you're right. But at the end of the day, she did get to the point that it's not Drew and it's not Nina or anyone else, and she can make the decision, and she made the right decision. I was just annoyed that it was Drew that was then pushing to get the kids back from Tracy, and I can't believe that Tracy's ended up in handcuffs. So.
Oh, I can't. Senator, she just hit me. That's assaulting a police. I mean, and that is technically assaulting a police officer. Yes.
Right. But she was just pulling away saying, don't handcuff me. And Chase then did try to stand up for her and was like, the handcuffs aren't necessary. And he was like, sorry, Congressman outranks you, police or detective. So yeah, we're going to do that.
And before all that happened, Chase actually tried to go reason with her also with, hey, listen, you know, all personal feelings and everything else aside, you have to look at the legal thing that's going on here. Right. And that is that Willow has a right to have the kids. You know, like there's nothing saying otherwise. And then I did love that he obviously realized he was not holding his own in the way that he thought. And so he got Brook Lynn there and she walks in and is like, what are you doing to my husband?
Right. So
he called in his backup.
Yes, we finally got the info that Brook Lynn was looking for this week. They went to the doctors and they don't have the test results back yet, but the doctor reassured her that the fact that she had had a baby before was actually working in their favor, because that meant that her body like knew what it was supposed to do, and that healthy pregnancy when she was younger in no way would affect the fact that she could or couldn't get pregnant now. And so that was a big weight off of her shoulders. But I was still surprised that she didn't tell Chase.
I'm surprised that I feel like they're the kind of couple that goes to appointments together. Or I was kind of surprised that they didn't at least have appointments at the same time and then met up afterwards. I thought that at least for them, I thought it was weird that like he went and then she went. Yeah. You don't have to go to the doctors with your significant other, but I just felt like that's something that they would
for that type of issue. I would think that you were going together to get at least the initial consultation, not like if you do need help getting pregnant, there's lots of doctor's appointments. So I could understand if the husband isn't going to every single one of those, because it's not like they can really do anything. But at that first appointment, when they're like, okay, we're testing for this, this, and this, and once you get those test results back, we'll have another appointment to go over those and tell you, now we're going to do this, this, and this, that he would attend those.
Maybe they will both attend the results for each other. And
Maybe.
Oh, do you think it's accidentally going to come out then?
Oh, maybe. I would prefer it comes out that way, or that she tells him, than him walk in on a conversation between Cody and Dante. Because it feels like that's what they're leading up to.
That was just, let's just glaze over the dumb real quick. Cody and Dante talked real quick, and he's like, well, does Lulu remind you of anyone that you couldn't get out of your mind when you were younger? Like Brook Lynn? You ditched us every year, or like that whole summer at camp.
Yeah. And you hear Dante saying, like, oh, sorry that she looked better in a bikini than you guys did, which is just ew, because all that Dante's ever said about her is that he thinks of her as a little sister.
Or friends, just friends in general.
Yeah. So you're not checking her out in her bikini if that's your little sister or just your friend. Like, ew. No.
And again, go back to listen to our 2-part of Carly hiring, which I did like. Lulu did bring that up. When Brook Lynn said, every job that I've had, I've earned on my own. And she's like, what? Like when Carly paid you to break up me and Dante? And I'm like, man, we didn't even have that episode named yet. And that's exactly what they said. Yep. So that was fun. Lulu was going to Deception to apply for a job, and Brook Lynn left, and on the way, Maxie was on her way in, and Maxie's like, what are you two arguing about? And she's like, you can handle this. I trust your judgment on hiring, blah, blah, blah. And it turns out that the position is to be an assistant to Brook Lynn.
Yes. I wish that, I understand not getting into all of the Peter August drama, because that would be a long time. But I wish that Maxie would have just summed it up. Like, listen, sometime we'll sit down with multiple bottles of wine and I will explain to you all of the ins and outs of me and Peter. But what you need to know is I was having his baby. I was scared for my life and our baby's life. And so Brook Lynn helped me by pretending that Bailey Lou was hers and taking care of her for like the first 2 or 3 months and keeping her safe. So my loyalty is 100% sealed when it comes to Brook Lynn. Like, don't even continue challenging it.
I did like that she shut it down and was like, listen, she's a good person. You guys have had your issues, but she's a good person.
Yeah, I did like that. But I feel like, hey, she protected my baby would have just, even Lulu at that point would have to be like, okay, I'll shut up now. Like, yes, you guys, your friendship, I understand. There's nothing, especially because that is Lulu's whole point of everything, is protecting her child. So how would you even question that?
Well, I guess we just kind of saw both of them real quick right there.
Yeah.
What else kind of fits along there? Oh, Lulu went to see Laura earlier in the week, and Laura was like, yeah, so I agree with the fact that Dante came and did all that, And then Lulu finally gets it in her head that, oh my gosh, what if I was the reason why Valentine was shot? And, even the best intentions can have bad outcomes. And
exactly. And it shouldn't take Dante pointing that out. Like, she should be able to put, not that she would know that that was the woman, but I would love for her to see that woman around town and make the connection. Like, wait a second, you were on the flight with me to Prague, and then he happened to get shot, and be able to give that information to somebody so that they could realize that WSB had everything to do with why Valentine's not coming home.
Right. Oh, I did like that she kind of said to Laura, so when were you going to tell me my daughter was shot by Anna? Like, no big deal, but how about you fill me in on that?
A good explanation, though. Like, when was the right time to tell you that? Because it wasn't what you would imagine.
Right.
So.
Right. Oh. Let's see, what else do we have?
Oh, Ava. We got to see Ava. Well, first we saw Ava talking. Well, I guess I'll backtrack a little bit more. We saw everyone at the Brown Dog watching the football game, and Cody lost all his money, so he's devastated. And that was part of what happened at the stables later. And then we saw Trina meet Emma, and it was very anticlimactic, like you said. She just kind of rolled her eyes like, oh, I've heard about you before from Joss. And then Felicia walked in and pulled her aside, which I felt like was uncalled for. It's not like she was dancing on the bar or like dressed inappropriately or whatever. It made sense that she's going to a local bar to see what's happening on a Saturday night because she's new in town and she'd like to meet some people her own age. So
Yeah.
She got pulled aside.
And it's not like she was talking loud to Trina and it was like, hey, how about you don't do that?
Right. They weren't starting a fight. It was nothing inappropriate other than the flirting weirdness between her and Gio about her being a pickpocket or whatever. But even then, Felicia didn't really hear all that. And it's not like she really was going around pickpocketing people. It was between her and Gio. So
I did think it was pretty presumptuous of her. She just sat right down next to him. Like he's there with a very, like he's sitting there with a girl.
Right. Yeah. Like how did you know that wasn't a date? It was odd, but whatever. She sat down and she has the conversation with them, and then Felicia pulls her away. And in the meantime, we see Kai get hurt, and that's why Cody loses. And so Trina's like, oh my gosh, I have to leave. And so she leaves, but she doesn't go to see Kai at that time because I guess the game was away or whatever. And so then we see her the next day talking to Ava, totally distracted. And Ava's like, can you just go? Because you're no use to me here. Like, you're not listening to anything. So she leaves, and then Ava's alone in the gallery. She calls Rick to start this whole custody crap all over again, which is just pointless, I feel like, but whatever. And then in walks oh my God, I knew his name, so I went to say it. Sidwell, thank you. And I'm like, I feel like Rick should know that name. I don't know why, but I feel like Rick should know it just from all the Lucky stuff and all of that. I was waiting for him to be like, that name's familiar. And instead he just sat there and waited for Ava to make her sale so that he could take the check.
Yeah, but I mean, he's been out of town, and how involved with the Lucky stuff has he been?
I don't know that he's been super involved with the Lucky stuff. I just kind of feel like he would have heard it. Like it was a big deal that Lucky needed rescued and all of that. And so I feel like, I don't know, just in day-to-day life as a attorney that's hanging out at the courthouse or whatever, he would have heard something about it. I don't know. I just kind of had the feeling that he should have, but he didn't. So whatever. If they didn't write it that way, that's fine. But then Sidwell and Ava discuss Windermere and how beautiful it would be with this painting. And so she's all excited that she finally made a sale. And Rick takes the check because she owes him a whole bunch of money.
Right.
So I'm just waiting. Like somebody has to recognize Sidwell. Like how come Lucky isn't seeing him or something?
Right. Well, I just thought it was funny when Ava's argument was, I worked for that. Why did Rick not say, yeah, and so did I? Thank you.
Right. Exactly. The reason that you're free right now is because I worked for that.
Yeah. So you're right. I mean, it's why hasn't, and okay, Sidwell knew who he was talking to, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. He sought them out.
Okay. That's what I was thinking. And I'm like, he cannot just be going around he had to have known.
Right.
Oh, and before Kai got hurt, though, we saw that apparently he and Stella take yoga together.
Yes. That was cute. I liked that whole introduction circle.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and we saw Selena.
Yes. Oh, I was so happy when I saw her picture in the opening credits. I was like, yay, that's Woo.
Yep. We're not just talking about her.
Yeah, she was coming to collect her check. And then once she saw that Dante was there, she was like, okay, Cody, I'll see you later. And she left. And she was so nice, asking Gio about his violin playing and everything. She's so classy, even if she is a mob boss. And then,
but remember, we said Sonny needs to give the business to her, so maybe it's going to happen.
That would be great. I would be so happy. What was I going to say? Oh, the whole scene with Gio cleaning out the horse stables. That was weird too. Okay, Cody was drunk, so that was just weird. So everyone showed up. That was
cute. I thought it was nice to kind of see that side of Gio, though, just hanging out with the guys.
I guess so. I feel like Gio has enough money. He doesn't have to clean out the horse stalls. That's Cody's job, but whatever.
Yeah, but he was doing him a solid. He was doing him a favor. He had been at the bar with him the night before, and knew that maybe he just needed a little extra hand.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not about the money. Sometimes it's just about being helpful.
That's true. I guess that could have been it, but I don't know. I guess I knew that Cody was gonna gamble all that money, but I still can't believe that he gambled $50,000 on a football game. Like, you're crazy.
And he thought it was a sure thing.
It doesn't matter. No, it's a sport. It's not a sure thing. And like, if you had quarter made money, what's 50,000? Like, oh well, okay, I lost it. Who cares? But Cody is, not supposed to be well off. $50,000 is a lot of money.
Right. He probably could have done pretty decently with half of that.
Right. Exactly. Or start small, like a $5,000 bet on the game. Okay, you won. Cool. Now take that 10,000 and roll it into something else, and just keep playing with the profit instead of your initial.
But he's in desperation mode because remember, there's another offer on Serenity, and he needs to step in fast. And so,
well, Tracy needs to do something, because even Tracy has to understand. Like, you're not going to turn 50,000. I don't care what you're gambling on. You're not turning 50,000 into 9.6 million. Like, it's not happening. So come on, do something.
I don't know how sports betting works, so I will leave that to you.
Well, if someone can tell me how to do that, I'll find 50,000 to turn around and make 9.6 million. I don't think
Is that how much he needs?
Yeah, it wasn't that what Serenity was?
I thought it was only like 5 million.
Oh, okay. Well, still 50,000 to 5 million. Yeah, right. I'm sorry. Apparently, I don't have the same type of bank account you do either, Shannon.
Nope. I was just thinking I was thinking it was easier just to 5 to 50. Like, if it was like, is it 1,000%? I don't know. I don't know how that all works. If you know about sports gambling and want to fill us in, email us at pure54podcast@gmail.com.
More importantly, if you can tell us how to turn 50,000 into 5-point-something million, you can just call us directly. Like,
I don't have 50,000 to gamble with to begin with, so
if I could turn it into 5 million, I'm fine 50,000. Like, oh my gosh. Anyway, yeah. So I'm not glad that he lost it, but I'm glad that he lost it just so that we don't have to see him continuing to gamble and getting back in with Miss Lou. Yeah, because that wasn't a good look for him. He just kept getting beat up because he kept winning, but not enough to make a purchase of a house like that. So Tracy needs to say, like, either, dude, it's unattainable, get over it, or hey, look, I bought this for you. We're gonna turn it into a whatever, and then I get 70% of the profits until you pay me back, or whatever.
Make their own little Shark Tank deal.
Yes, exactly.
I did like that Brad immediately went to Lucas and was like, that's not what it looked like. Like, this is exactly what it was. And it was all the truth.
Yes, yes. And Lucas
is like, why are you telling me this?
Right. It's not my business. And he's like, no, but you taught me that telling the truth is very important. And I just want you to understand, like, I was not like, yes, it was shady because I was kind of like the person who set it up, but I'm not in this business or whatever.
Right. And then, Lucas went to talk to Liz about what happened with Michael.
Yeah. Right.
I like that Lucas is kind of going to be in on this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're getting a lot of Lucas because we saw him with that. And then he also went to Ava and was like, hey, check out this dance recital that Avery was in. That was super sweet. And she kind of was like, yeah, keep me in the loop. I'm concerned. And he reassured her and was like, listen, if I thought that Avery was in any kind of danger, I would say something. She's at Carly's. She's happy. She's healthy. Like, I get that you don't like it, but it's not really a reason for an emergency court hearing.
Right. Oh, I did like back to when Tracy or Sonny was visiting Tracy for the grandkids and she told him to handle Drew. And he's like,
yes.
She's like, why am I explaining to you what that means?
Yes.
I thought that was very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Curtis and Alexis were finishing up an AA meeting and he was not liking the patterns that he's been creating. And so he wants to, dial in on himself. Yep. And Alexis told him about how she's going to fight Drew. And he's like, I will help you with that if you need it. And Jordan. So later in the week when Drew saw Cody at the Port Charles Grill, and Drew tries to, like you said earlier, like he's blaming everybody else. Drew tried to blame it on Cody and Jordan's like, no, I saw you. Like,
Right.
I heard you, I saw you. That's not how this happened. And she let him know, dude, you have like no friends now.
Right.
But Cody telling Drew, I hope you have a horrible day and I hope you have a pleasant one to Jordan. Like, I loved
Yes.
that. His whole woe is me is just so dumb.
Yeah, he was just awful, and that's why I never thought that I would be on Nina's side, but she was 100% right this week. She was calling out everybody and being like, "Pay attention! What is wrong with you?" Like, Drew is such a jerk, and as much as I don't like Carly, like, she's not wrong here. She wants to just see her kid, and
Right.
Willow, start making decisions for yourself. Like, you are not this weak little mouse that needs someone to take care of you. Come on.
Right.
So I was shocked. I do not agree with Nina ever. I was shocked that I was actually like, wow, she is the voice of reason this week.
Yeah. I think that needs to be it. Amanda agrees with Nina. Did we already do that one? I don't think we did.
Probably not, because I never agree with her.
Oh, but then I think that was it. And then the last thing that we saw was when Willow finally allowed Carly and Sonny to see Michael, see Michael. And they were not arguing, but they were discussing the different options. I guess there's a bed that opened up at John Hopkins in the burn unit. And Carly's like, yeah, but there's this place in Germany. And if you've ever met Ava, you would never have guessed that that's what her face
right
did not look like not too long ago. And Willow's like, well, I'm not familiar with that, but I do know John Hopkins. And Sonny says, well, we need Michael to tell us. And so that means that he had to be woken up.
Yeah.
And Carly went in and she's like, we just need to talk to you. And then cliffhanger.
Yeah. Right. But
so much pain.
Yeah. I felt horrible for like everyone involved with that. Like, Carly is a mom. Like, yes, I want to talk to him because he's my son and I want to know that I'm doing what he wants, but seeing him in all that pain. Mm-mm.
My son was sick for 2 days this week and I was like, oh, are you okay? I couldn't even imagine. I don't ever want to be in that situation that I'd have to.
No.
Yeah, I think that is it.
Yeah, I think so.
Reality check.
So what's your reality check?
I had a boring week. The kids had off one day because of the snow and cold, and Ryan had ended up back in the hospital last week, so he got to come home. He went in Sunday and he came home Tuesday, I think, because of issues that he's having with his diabetes stuff. So that was like a week of different doctor's appointments and trying to get all of that stuff so that he finally listens to the doctor. We know how men are. They're not the best with that, but hopefully gets everything under control with all of that. And yeah, it was pretty much my whole week, kids and dealing with his crap. How about you?
Yeah, my daughter was home because when you guys have remote instruction, she's just canceled because her school services 40 different school districts. So, they're not going to have potentially, they wound up actually closing the school also. But typically it would be like if, let's say, just our school had a 2-hour delay, but not the other ones, or not enough of the other ones, they would have just had school and it wouldn't have counted against her. But yeah, so we just kind of hung out. She made herself a beautiful coat.
It is beautiful. Like
out of a blanket.
I've said it before. She's so talented, but that was amazing. Like, I wouldn't even think to make a coat out of a blanket. Like, my brain doesn't even work that way. And she did it, and it was so beautiful from the pictures that you posted.
Yeah, mine does not think that way either. And just, pretty much the weather, and I have a feeling it's going to be the same this upcoming week. Changed a lot of my plans.
So cold.
Changed a lot of my schedule. Like my Thursday morning meeting was canceled because the schools were delayed, but that was also the day that she was off. So she came to the office with me, did a little bit of running around. Oh, we did yoga. We found a yoga class to do together on Wednesday nights. And so Erica and I did it with her. It's for, I think it's just called Support for Autism Yoga. But this organization has a bunch of different types of yoga they have one specifically for caregivers, like just caregivers to go to.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this one was for family, friends, allies, autistic people themselves, anyone with any disability. but most of the ones that they have that are individualized are for autistics. So,
Oh, wow.
and the best part is it's free.
Oh, I love that price tag.
Yep. Going to make a monthly donation for them, but it's nice to see that they make it accessible for them to,
Right.
because if it was just her, she's unlimited funds. So,
Right.
yeah, so that was nice. And I think we're going to start doing that on Wednesdays. I was supposed to be doing a self-defense class today that was canceled, and I was supposed to do it with her, and it was canceled because of not too many people signed up. And I'm like, that's probably because of the weather.
Yeah. That's
So yeah, kind of just a boring week, working, family, all that fun stuff.
Yep.
So exciting.
Yep. Mine was all
Getting ready
doctor's
for my
appointments,
trip.
whatever. And what?
Getting ready for my trip.
Yeah. No one feels bad for you that you have stuff you have to do for that. Okay.
It's the first time my husband and I will have been gone away since our honeymoon.
That's awesome. And you deserve it 100%. But again, no one feels
Getting
bad
out of
for
the
you.
30 degrees.
Yeah. No one has sympathy for that. So
It's stressful though. Like, because we don't vacation like this. So it's like we actually do have to get some stuff. Like we had to buy a lot of clothes because, the trips that we do take, like when we went out to Vegas, that was a quick weekend, an extended weekend.
right.
And it was with the kids, which was fine. But, you don't have to dress a certain way. And I'm not saying like we're getting all fancy schmancy, but we're staying at resorts,
Yeah.
They do have a dress code, and not like we are completely jeans and t-shirts, but that's a good portion. And, I want to look good. So I got a few dresses and all that fun stuff.
Awesome.
The big one is JD, where, needs some polos and some shorts, and he's definitely a t-shirt and let's see how many pairs of jeans we don't have holes in kind of guy, which is fine. I mean, that is totally fine by me, but it's just not acceptable for
Right.
a resort. So yeah. So I guess join us on Thursday as we continue with Lucky, and I forget what number it is, but I feel like it's either 16 or 17.
I agree with you. Have a good week.
And we'll meet you at the pier.
Bye.
If you enjoyed today's show, we invite you to go to peer54podcast.com to subscribe on your favorite platform. Don't forget to leave us a review. And you can also follow us on many social media channels. Just search for Peer 54 Podcast. Also, we are not perfect, so if there is something that we missed or messed up, just let us know by emailing us at peer54podcast@gmail.com.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return,
But I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do?
My refund, though.
I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.